What? Y'all know what it is. Wisdom Wednesday 18. Number 18. Man, I lost my glasses, man. If y'all see my glasses somewhere, let me know. Let me know. Alright, let's see if I get the guys to tap in. How y'all week going? Wednesday, hump day, as they say. I hope your day is humping. I guess that's the correct terminology. I don't know. Let's see where my guys at. Send out my invites. Bing, bing, bing. I ain't got nothing to talk about. Let's see. Hey, if you're a mentor, volunteer, looking to work with some teens, or you're a parent of some teens, head over to ipsctx.org. Sign up to be a mentor, volunteer, register your team. Possible OCH house opening June 1st. That's the day we pushing. So we pushing to the limit, trying to make it happen. Captain. Man, I really don't like this part of this show. Like, I'm not one of them people that have the gift of just talking to me. What my dude said. I feel like I'm on the island. Somebody save me. Let me see. What can I talk about that I've done? Um, hmm. I'm just on here. My introvertedness is introverting today. There's my guy Corey. Come save me, Corey. Let's see. I'm trying to bring you up on here. All right, invite. What's up? Corey ain't gonna come on. Whatever, my guy. What up, bro? You get the invite? Okay, that's cool.
What up, man?
What up, bro?
What's good with you? How you been, bro?
Good.
Mikey, what's up? Big Mike.
What up? What up?
Man,
Can you hear me?
man. Yeah, I can hear you.
That's what's
Y'all
up.
can hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep. In there. Man, what's that on your head, bro? Mike?
Oh, that's just a bandana. That's
Oh,
it.
okay. I thought that was a different one. I ain't know. I was like, okay.
Oh,
I got I'll be on them charms too with you. But
yeah.
man,
This is not the Wild West. What's going down?
what's up with it,
What's
Brandon?
up, Brian?
Man,
Brian King.
blessed. Blessed, brothers, blessed. What y'all got going? What's the conversation today?
Man, I think we should just vibe it out, but base it off don't think like me, just think though. You
Thinking,
know what I mean?
like that. You saying thinking? Don't think like me, just think.
Don't think
That's
like
the
me, just think, man.
that's the book. You gotta explain it's the book.
Yeah, it's the book, you know what I'm saying? But like the concept of
What
it or
book?
whatever.
What
Huh?
book? What book?
the book Don't Think Like Me, Just Think, the book that I wrote.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it was just like, man, I was talking to Mike about it, and I was like, really, I was telling him, let's pull some up out of there and bust it down. But then he was like, nah, just go off the topic itself. Don't think like me, just
Hey,
think. So I was like, all right, cool.
hey,
But
I like that topic though, to be honest with y'all, because they say too much is given, much is required. You
right,
know, sometimes it's not sometimes, oftentimes there are leaders that don't understand that they're a leader. You know what I mean?
yeah,
When
yeah,
you start to think differently, you start to become an example. You
hmm,
start to become a inspiration. You
right,
know,
right,
and
right,
this might be off topic, but it might go with the topic. So one day, yesterday, I got a call from one of my cousins, right? And
right,
what he was asking me was his daughter, somebody hit his daughter. His son took up for his daughter. Felt like the dude got the best of him because he was bigger than him or whatever. And
right,
he said, Brian, how would you? I want a response from you because when I think of stuff like that, I think of you. And
right,
I answered it wholeheartedly. I said, man, to be honest, what I would do right now, the man I am today, I would get the laws involved. Only
yeah,
because
yeah,
what if my son get handled again? Now that's two times he done been shamed. Now these
mm,
kids, now they don't know how to take a loss. What if he get the best of the old boy and his people call the loss? So and he said, man, you telling me this, you had me hitting people in their mouth for no reason and all this. I say that's when I was a child, man.
right,
That's
right,
when I didn't know no better. When
mm,
you begin to know better, you start to do better. And
right,
it's many times that I feel like, man, I'd have let somebody make it over the slightest disrespect, but I have to think all the time. I have
mm,
people that depend on me. So
yeah,
when you start to think differently, you start to walk differently. You start
right,
your
right,
conversation change,
mm,
your perspective change. You know,
right,
we when you just think about me, you're being prideful. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
If you're trying to line yourself up with somebody else and think like them, you're being envious.
right,
And not in a bad way,
yeah,
because you
mm-hmm,
instead of applying it to yourself, you want what somebody else got.
mm,
Sometimes I look at people that's really humble, right? And I looked at
mm,
that and I admired it, and I told God, if I could just be humble, you know what I'm saying? Because with humility, it comes a different type of respect. I don't
mm,
have to be the loudest one in the room no more. I don't have to be seen. I don't have to do these things because I'm gonna
mm,
respect every individual for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
and I learned
So
that
that
from a
way of
brother.
thinking, not to cut your wisdom, man, but that way of thinking is like that's just a form of your growth too.
Yeah,
From back when we was doing what we was doing, all of us have been down that road. But you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's an important thing, man. Your mind process, how your mind functions, man. Especially in this day and age and the time we dealing with now.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So, like coming from that standpoint, you was thinking differently. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that other person was still looking at you like the old
yeah,
you. A lot of people,
yeah,
they still tied into the old us and they not willing to accept the new us because they
yeah.
still the old them. You
Yeah,
know what
it
I'm
kind
saying?
of, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know how to feel about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, damn, everybody expects me to be like, I can't be that person no more. And Mike, I remember you and Vantonio gonna be both to understand this when we had our misunderstanding, right? And you and Regis pulled me to the side and y'all told me what you are representing, that's what you have to stand on. How
Yeah.
can you say stop the violence and be so easily moved to violence?
Right.
You have to take the wisdom from the brothers around you. The Bible, I'm big on the Bible, y'all. So the Bible tells me that iron sharpens iron. So therefore,
Right.
if I can't get no wisdom from my brother, can I say he my brother at all?
That's
When
real.
I have a brother, I have to accept him for who he is, not what I
Mm,
expect him to be. We can hold each other accountable, but everybody not at the same mark in their journey. You know what I'm
mm.
saying? You have to be
I
willing
feel
to.
that.
You have to
I
be
can
able to.
relate to that. I feel that. I feel that.
You,
But
what? Okay, go ahead. What up?
even with that, Brian, like not to cut your wisdom, even with that, going into like just how we thinking with our thinking process, period, like going back to like what we've been taught for so
Yeah,
long. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like even get because all of us we've been taught things from a perspective that was poisoned.
Yeah,
by
yeah,
those
yeah,
people. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So the perspective we got it from was the perspective that our grandmother got it from,
Mm-hmm.
mama got it from, her grandma, you know, that type of
Yeah.
stuff. So it's like we still trying to reprogram everything to the direction it's supposed to be going instead of the direction they wanted us to go. And we've been going the direction that the system been wanting us to go for so long. So, you know, that was a big part of why I wrote a lot of things that I did in the book
Mm-hmm.
too, on different levels though. But that was part of it too, because we got to change the way we think, period. Not even just even in our growth of like just not being like how we used to be, but in the way we think, period, bro. Because we thinking from a perspective of like, let's just like saying like Mike, he come tell all three of us how we should be civilized, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he not even just say Mike wasn't our culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't vibe with our culture. Say Mike believed in some old whatever. And he
Mm-hmm.
came and told us, hey man, the way y'all think is wrong. Y'all need to think like this. How can you tell me the way I'm thinking is wrong when this is my culture and this been my culture for so long? So it's not right if it's not. If I'm not doing it the way you say it's supposed to be, if I'm not thinking the way you say I'm supposed to think, I'm not doing it in a civilized manner. In America, they supposedly civilized us when they started slavery, changing our name, doing all that. I was listening to Mama Marimba earlier, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you listen to her, check
Power,
her out,
power,
man. But she deep,
power, power,
she deep,
power,
bro. But
power.
it just made me think about how you know how they try to tell us like what's powerful within us and who we are. How if we think outside of that, if we don't think outside that, we wrong. If that
Okay.
makes sense. If I
Nah,
can
for
get a
sure. That's
let me get some insight on that, man.
Okay, Mike.
Because
yeah.
I think it makes
That's
sense.
on that's on purpose. And just to talk about your book
Yeah,
for a minute, what I found that was very powerful about the book was you did just that. You shared your perspective on different mythology, you know, that's found in whether it's in Christianity,
right,
the Hebrew culture, even
right,
Islamic culture, just different, you know, religious, you know, stories, and you had your take on them. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So it was just
I
right,
an
gotta check that book
active
out.
it was an active you know, lesson in thinking, you know, for yourself and
right,
expressing that thought through writing or through, you know, any other type of expression. So
right.
for that reason that was powerful. And then you have so what you so when you do that, what you do is, Evan, is you create routines.
Mhm.
You start to
Right,
create rituals. You see what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right.
Because that's all a religion is. It's a set of, you know, ceremonies and
Mhm.
rituals and memorials
Spiritual,
and
spiritual.
right,
Can I
right,
say?
and all those things and
Yeah.
all those things. So when you have like that framework, you
Hmm.
know, and which is you know, conducive to your life, then you are now thinking for yourself.
And
Hmm.
and and to piggyback off of what Mike said, right? Like what
Yeah.
both of y'all said, let's just point it in the point of alignment. You know,
Right.
when you come into alignment, you start to see things differently. You know, if your car need a front end alignment, it might veer to the left or veer to the right. But when you're
Hmm.
lined up right, you know what I'm saying, everything has a flowing process, a flowing motion. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You
Right.
don't if everything is lined up in your car, you don't have to worry about your car being a car. See, if
Right.
everything is aligned up in our lives as being a man, then we don't have no problem being a man because everything aligns to the
Right.
right principle.
Exactly.
So when you
But
begin
what
to
kind of man? That's the
and
question.
you know what I'm
What
saying?
kind of man? You know what I'm
Because
saying?
because it's like this. And when I say man, I mean man, a king of his kingdom. You know, I'm talking about one who's able to function as a man, not
Right.
just because of sexual or none of that. I'm talking about overall. My woman, what she know I bring to the table, I got a spiritual man. You know, I depend
Hmm.
on. I have every avenue of what I think. It's only what I think of because the words say, "So a man thinketh." So I
Thank you.
think if I
Hmm.
align my life up with God, then I'm gonna have
Hmm.
the desires of my heart. Even though trials and tribulations gonna rise. Even
Right.
though in the Bible, Jesus say, anger but sin not. I still get angry, y'all. And if I don't think first, if my first reaction ain't to think, then I'm gonna
Yeah.
act like the old man would act.
It's gonna come
You know what I'm
out.
saying? And it's gonna come
Yeah,
naturally
that's so
because
true,
we have been accustomed to a certain way of living our whole lives.
bro.
You know, I'm 40 years old and I can see how great the number 40 and how relevant it is in my life. Because when I became 40, I began to think differently. You know, I line my life up with brothers that want what's best for me as I want what's best for them. See, I know if me and Mike have a disagreement, we might disagree, but I know we can come together as brothers and get an understanding. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know I can call Van and be like, man, this is what I think. This is how I feel about this situation. What do you think about this? And receive his true and honesty opinion without getting my feelings, without letting pride arise to the point, oh, this nigga think he knows something. Nah,
Right.
because I wouldn't come to you if I wasn't really truly seeking your advice on that. I'm
Right.
coming to you because I don't know. I'm not the type of man to do something if I don't know. If I don't know, I don't know. I'm not.
Hey, we don't stop learning until we gone, bro. We gonna
Real,
learn every day from somebody, some
real.
situation. Speaking on Van, what's your take on it, Van?
Y'all hitting them all.
Here you go. Here you go.
Yeah.
Now I
But
want to hear something.
yeah, I gotta hear something. What's up with it, Kevin, man? What's good, man? Yeah, I know you got some on, man, on the thinking process of this generation.
All right. Well, if you don't got nothing on that, be great on purpose. Be great on purpose. Elaborate on what that means, brother.
Okay, come on, cause that's part of your thought process too, though. Come on, let's elevate it now.
Man, it's a mantra, it's a standard, and it's a lifestyle.
Okay.
Right.
So, like, I'm just learning
Not probably about the next 15 minutes.
from my past. I was like from high school all the way up till running pro track and field. I
Right.
took shortcuts and just relied on my talent.
Yeah.
I went into
Right.
things ambitiously versus you know. And for me, when I said be great on purpose, it was a commitment to myself that I'm going to do things completely. I'm not going to be afraid to learn. I was the kid. I was a kid that before I got the video game, when I got the video game, I just pop it in. Pop it in.
Yeah. Let's get to it.
You know.
Hell yeah.
Then I started learning about the mastermind principle. I learning about Solomon and wisdom. You know, learning from other people's mistake versus my own. Okay, before I jump into something, let me see how to get the result I want. Sometimes when you do the research and you see the result that you want might take 3 years when you was expecting overnight.
Yeah.
Or for me, more importantly, I was that dude that I really thought I was thinking outside the box.
Right.
And I didn't take in what nobody else was saying until I started doing the research and realizing that I was failing for the most common reasons.
Yeah.
You know, I was failing for the most common reason, thinking I'm being different. And when I open up the book, I see you can learn a lot from a dummy. I opened up the book and realized I was the dummy.
I like that. I like that.
For own mistake, you know. So for me, I say be great on purpose. Wherever you're at in that moment and that present time, give your greatest effort.
Yeah. Because wherever you are.
I can't spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, but I could give you my greatest effort versus just folding.
Yeah, for real. For real. Okay, Mike, I got something for you, Mike.
I like that.
I got something for you, Mike.
Come on with it.
Okay, when it says if I was to tell you, do the risk outweigh the reward? What mind frame would that put you in?
So if the risk outweighs the reward,
Do the risk outweighs the reward. You know, like me, I'll break it down from my perspective.
Is the win on this play worth risking the loss on this play?
Right. And how have that elevated you, and how was that simple principle able to elevate you to the next level?
Come on with it.
Yeah.
Break it down.
So there's a balance with that as well. You know what I mean? Because in the world that I'm in the investing world, you know, it's all numbers. And believe it or not, you can make them numbers lie too. People can make them numbers lie, right? Unfortunately. But yeah, so one thing in the beginning is I had no risk because there was nothing to lose.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So in the beginning, you just like going 100% obsessed with it, putting all your time, effort, and energy in it because like Van was saying, you see this thing in your mind and you want to go after it. So then boom, you go after it, right? And then you start being very successful in being very risky until being very risky makes you unsuccessful. You see what I'm saying? And now when you you got a lot of big wins, you might take a big loss. So now whenever you approach life in general or any type of situations, I do exactly what Brian just said. You outweigh the risk. Like is this worth XYZ versus losing XYZ?
Yeah. Okay.
Balance.
Yeah.
I think that's a good topic to play with for a minute.
Okay.
Talk about it from a relationship standpoint culturally.
Okay.
So like if me and Brian are beefing, right?
Right.
Now let's not even go that far. Let's say Brian does something to me. I don't like it. There's the first risk I have to say is okay, is what he's done bothering me so much that if I bring it up, it's a risk of us losing our friendship.
Right.
Or do I say, man, it ain't even that serious? Or do I risk being too emotional when saying it and it comes across as anger and Brian takes it the wrong way and we lose our friendship? Right? So we're talking about the risk part of it. When I'm thinking about the risk part of it, it's what are we willing to sacrifice? Some things, especially being a man, we know dealing with women, some things we have to eat. We can't complain about the things they complain about or how often they complain about. So sometimes we have to eat our complaints for the sake of the relationship. Or I heard it another way is sometimes you have to apologize, not because you're right or the other person wrong or vice versa. Is because I respect the relationship enough not to let this situation get in the middle of it.
You just want to come see me.
So making sure we're taking the proper risk in our relationships, making sure we're growing as a culture, we're growing as individuals, we're growing as couples. From that,
let me ask you this though. What if the thing that you're risking, right? If you don't say anything or you don't speak on whatever that thing is that you're risking, then the power behind what you're saying doesn't make the change it's supposed to make the change. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't bring out the change that's supposed to be made if you don't say it. If you don't, and that's kind of like don't think like me, just think. I said some things that motherfucker might be, you feel me, but I still was willing to risk that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to risk it in certain situations because what the power behind what you're risking and what you're saying is going to open up something. You feel what I'm saying? So by you saying that, if it's worth me saying it, then I should say it because it's going to open up a can or something, but the can that opened up is going to open that other person up too. it might help them think a different way or see things from a different perspective. You feel what I'm saying? Even
Spiritual
if it would
gangster,
have
what's
came
up?
down to that.
What's
Right.
up, Keisha? Um,
Yeah,
go ahead.
can I do it, or Van, you
You
want?
got it. You got it.
So
Go ahead.
both of those are kind of like the balance. You have the aspect of we will keep confrontation, conflict to a minimum. And
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? If I see it, I just expect you to be able to rectify the situation. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And we
Right.
move forward with minimal
Right.
conversation about that specific situation, right?
Right.
You
Right.
cannot do that without having core values aligned and communicated with the person that you're having this
That's true. That's true.
interaction with. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's
if your
right.
core values aren't aligned anyways, then it's just gonna make it worse. Because
Yeah,
not only
they're
are
gonna
your
take it
core
the wrong way
values
anyway.
not only are
Uh-huh.
your core values not aligned, whatever it is that y'all got going on, just in general, is not aligned. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Or which you also have to have core, or which you also have to have core values for is to be radically transparent.
Right.
Which means that
Right.
I'm talking about radically transparent, which
Mm-hmm.
means that if,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, I feel like something XYZ, I'm going to say it even though I'm wrong.
Mhm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
you're going to say what you got to say even though you're right. You know what I'm saying?
But
We're
you see
just
that?
going to
But
go, and
listen,
we're just
but
going to,
see,
and watch this, look, and we're
but
just going to go at it. But guess what? We're always going to come back aligned because our core
mm-hmm.
values are there, and it's going to make us stronger. It's going to make our mastermind
Mm-hmm.
a lot more with substance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're experiencing, we're sharing, sending off information and data, parts of each other that we're not withholding, that we're
Mm-hmm.
releasing. And I read
Right.
something that was very important. It was very powerful yesterday. It was talking about alchemy. And basically, it was talking about whenever two personalities come together, okay,
Mm-hmm.
in any type of way, shape, form, or fashion to put in any type of motion, it's
Mm-hmm.
like two substances coming
Mm-hmm.
together. Both
Right.
of them are going to transform. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying?
But you see what you just said, what you just did, man. You just broke down. Don't think like me, just think. You just broke it down. And the reason why, you know what I'm saying? Just that word itself, just that whole, you know what I'm saying? That whole paragraph. Don't think like me, just think. You broke it down to a point where, like, okay, you might not think the same as me. You know what I'm saying? Van might not think the same as me, but we gonna talk about it. And by the fact that we even breaking it down and dissecting it and talking about it, it's causing me to think. It's causing me to, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't see it like that. Then I might say something to make you think, oh, cool, that's a good point too. Same thing with Van. So the whole point of it is, even if you disagree with it, it's still gonna make you think outside the box that you've been thinking in and been programmed to think in for so long. You know what I'm
APG,
saying? And that's the powerful part about it.
APG, appreciation, perspective, gratitude.
There you
Uh,
go. There we
uh,
go. There we go.
Right, right. And just know that everybody is in an experience.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You can
Right.
call it physical, you can call it spiritual, you can call it
Mhm.
metaphysical, you can say you're dreaming,
Mhm.
however you want to think,
mhm,
right? Think that way. We're having that experience. But what you also have to know is there's a framework, there's a
Right.
ritual, there's a
Mhm.
routine to
Mhm.
that experience. You see what I'm saying? Let me give
Mhm.
you an example. All right. So I've been walking through spending a lot of time in the woods on trails, et cetera, right? So what I started to comprehend or what started to be revealed to me through that was that there's no order in nature.
Okay.
Okay. There's no right
Yeah.
angles. You see? There's no, perfect squares. There's no perfect circles. There's no,
So it's
straight
just to be.
lines.
So
It's
nature is just to be.
it's chaotic.
Yeah.
But what you don't see is the ritual that is going on behind the scenes, taking place on a one conscious level
Right.
between everything from the dirt to the trees,
Right.
the bugs, the water.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has one conscience. It's one framework. It's one
Yeah.
system that's not
Mm-hmm.
seen. It's not tangible, but it all
Nah.
works together. But what you see with the physical eye, you see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, is
Mm-hmm.
chaotic. What you see with the
Yeah.
physical eye is what the colonizer saw when he wanted to take control. He was like,
Mm-hmm.
it's out of order, it's chaotic, it needs to be
Mm-hmm.
straight lined, it needs to be
Mm-hmm.
right lined, it needs to be boxed up. You
Mm-hmm.
see,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now our
So
whole thinking and perspective and mindset, going back to don't think like me, just think, don't
right.
think like nobody. Because
Right.
you because when you do, that's
Mm-hmm.
when you lose out
Right.
on your genius, which is your
Right.
genuineness.
I like that. So we just gotta be. Pretty much, you just have to be. Tap into being. You know what I'm saying? Because when you tap into being, like the universe and like you said, everything around us is just being what it's being. It's just moving how it moves. It's just growing how it grows. It's flowing how it flows.
You
It's
know how
just
easy
being.
that is? Watch this. Look, you're called the human doing.
Right.
You're called a human living.
A human
Nah,
being.
that's right.
So we're
You're called
being.
you're called a human being.
Being.
That's
Yeah.
right. A human, a a something that
Human.
a human
Being.
has nothing to do with skin color.
No, it don't.
It has to do with light, because
So
I can't see Van functioning in this physical
Right.
reality without
Mm,
light.
mm, okay.
That's how he functions. He's a human. I can see
Right.
all the color spectrum. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? And you got to operate within all the color spectrum. That's why you can't see infrared. That's why you can't see ultraviolet,
Mm.
et cetera, et
But
cetera.
hey,
But
but
those
it's
lights are
within us.
there.
But it's flowing through us. We can't see it, but this is the reason we can. This is the only reason we can visualize each other in the first place
Right.
so how would
because of those infrared and the ultraviolet and all those things. This is why we can see each other. All the particles and all that stuff that's around us and within us, we can't see that. But this is why we can visualize each other right now because of those things.
Right.
Right.
how would you define self-development into that with just being? Not to confuse it with like okay, when we talk about just being, right?
Right.
Like a plant just being automatically develops to its best self in a
Yeah.
Auras. That's right.
Auras. I like that.
in a
Primordial fields.
Those auras. Yes, I like that.
so in your as a human being, and we do have a choice to self-develop or just being.
Right.
Do you think we still reach our full potential by just being?
They're
Oh
both the
no, I
same
think
thing. They're both
I
they're both the same thing. Self-development and being is the same thing. The way that we understand how to be is understand what you are being. What being are you? You see what I'm saying? You see, what being are you? What are
right.
you?
Mm-hmm.
What are you?
Yeah.
You're a human being, but what does
Mhm.
that mean? That means I got a flesh body and I
Mhm.
walk around and I procreate. You see what I'm saying?
But
What
no, it's
does
deeper
human
than
being
that. No,
actually, what
no.
does it actually mean? So once I
Mhm.
understand that I am a I'm a physical representation of the universe, then I know how to be. Guess what I'll go do? I'll go ground. I'll go put my feet in the ground and then
Mhm.
I'll lay on the ground and I'll stare at the stars for 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And guess what I'm
Growing
gonna
into
do
your
right
being,
there? I'm gonna
growing and tapping into that being is tapping into your God
that's
self, man.
what I'm saying. So
Tapping
look,
into your God self.
right. But the way you tap into your God self is to understand that everything on the outside of you is a reflection of what's on the inside of you.
Inside of you.
So if you can change the inside of you, you can change the outside of you.
Mhm.
But I have to use the outside of me ritualistically,
Right.
ceremonially,
Yes.
routinely
Right.
to actually create
Mhm.
the inertia to change it with inside of me, because I have to see something symbolically. My subconscious has to see the symbolic aspect of this ritual, the energy behind it, what it represents, how it's going to shift me, and then how it's going to shift my outside. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? By me doing this. You get what I'm saying?
One of the,
Like, one question before Van, because I know Van finna say something. Hold that thought. I got one question for you though, real quick. So, would you say a person tapping into, if I can't look up to the sky at nighttime, right? Look into the universe, look into the stars, look into the moon. If I can't look out into all that, would you say if I don't tap into that and realize that's what's within me, I can't bring that out of me? I
I
have to recognize and know that that's me,
yes.
right?
You have to know what you are to
Right,
be. Yeah.
right,
Right.
right.
So then you let that teach you. So I was telling you about the nature, how it's chaotic,
Yeah.
right? Chaos is like darkness, right?
Hmm.
When you,
Right.
okay, so when you manifest things out of darkness.
Darkness.
You
Right.
take chaos, something you can't physically see, and you
Hmm.
bring it into the natural world where you can physically see it.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
All light comes from darkness.
All, all light comes from darkness. That's right. So the idea is, when you look up at the stars at night, what are you looking at?
You see in yourself a reflection
You're
of
see,
yourself
you're
on the inside.
seeing darkness. That's right.
Yeah. Right.
The energy behind that is going to affect you subconsciously,
Right.
because everything
Right.
that you do is done subconsciously, is not done consciously. Your conscience is like a monitor to
Hmm.
monitor your subconscious
Hmm.
and what comes in and what you would like to pull out. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
that
not the
sifter.
hard drive, right? It's
That's
not the
it. That's
hard
it.
drive,
It's like sifting. It's like a
correct?
sifter. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not a hard drive. So the data that has been coming on your hard drive since you was in conception, and the
Hmm.
first bit of data coming on your hard drive came in pure darkness,
Hmm.
because you were conscious in a womb in water.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And guess what
Go ahead,
holds more
man.
information than anything? Water.
Right. So water and electricity all one. Go ahead. Go ahead, Van.
no, I was just saying I'm trying to change some things, so I'm switching up some routines. That's all.
Right.
That's
Right.
it. That does it. It does it. That one thing
Right.
right there.
Those adjustments, that's part of it, though.
Hmm. Water is powerful. Keisha Lawrence, she said self-development will unlock things within due to you going within for knowledge, and you can tap into the God energy. She also said powerful. Yeah,
Yeah.
about the Dr. Masaru Emoto,
Mm-hmm.
about if y'all know about his water experiment, where he took water, he put them in separate jars. On these jars, he put positive words. On these other jars, put negative words. Froze the water. Then when he went back and looked at it, the ones with positive words, they formed in beautiful sequences. The
Mm-hmm.
ones with negative words, they formed more chaotic sequences. But just showing that words have energy, water harness energy, but your body's
Yes.
70% water,
Yes.
Yeah.
70 to
Yeah.
80% water. So if
Yeah.
words have those, if it shows words have those energy, that energy and all that, what you think to yourself. If your body's 70 to 80% water, what you think to yourself really matters.
Yep. It's gonna come to life.
Yeah.
That's how it all comes. That's why you notice, like, have you ever noticed how, like, you might be feeling down or you might be feeling like a certain type of way, and you be like, man, I'm finna go take a hot shower. then you go take that hot shower, and then you start feeling more energized and like you more woke, and you feeling a lot better
Yeah.
because you're connecting with more water. You bringing more water to where your water is already at within you. You know what I'm saying? You connecting with that. Those elements that make you who you are, you bringing more of that to yourself. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Water.
Yeah. Yep. That's like I was talking about, like this concept is what a concept I thought about too, man. You know how
Alkaline.
like people
Yeah.
have alkaline, baby. You know how people have, when men and women they have
Wait,
intercourse.
he put the alkaline. Let me say this just real quick. He put
Go
the
ahead.
alkaline. Why? Because it's not just distilled water. It's
Right.
water with
It,
your
it,
being inside
Yep.
of it.
yep.
Yep.
It's
Energy.
got your being inside of it, right?
That's it.
So when
Yep.
I'm drinking water that has a certain pH level with minerals
Mm-hmm.
over an extended period of time, I've created a routine and a ritual of
Mm-hmm.
drinking this water. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? My physical body and my non-physical body, which is
Mm-hmm.
the aura or the primordial field, with me being a male and me being electric, is about to
Mm-hmm.
turn up. It's about to charge
That's
up.
it.
You see what I'm saying?
Electrify you even more. Exactly.
Right.
That's
So
like
now, guess what? I'm able to uh, uh, quote unquote attract or quote unquote manifest on a higher level because I'm operating with more matter or density. Like the aura becomes more, which means that it brings more into it. Because remember, you're a planet.
Mm-hmm. That's
You're a
true.
planet. You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
Right.
Not only are
people
you from
feel like
ashes to
right.
ashes, dust to dust, you're a planet.
I hear you. I see you, Keisha. Yeah, I feel you on
Yeah,
that, man. But I
she
was
feel
gonna
like
say this.
goddess.
I was gonna say this, yeah, and I feel you, Keisha. That's how you supposed to feel. That's how a real queen's supposed to feel all day.
Yeah.
So I
Told
was
you
gonna
she
say
ain't
this,
a
man. Like
queen.
when you go back
She
to
told you she ain't a queen. She's a goddess.
goddess, but she both of those. She all that. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this: when we go to intercourse, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring that up because it's a power in that shit. We come from a dark place, right? From darkness. When we come from in the womb, we in the water. We in the womb, you know what I'm saying? We got to stay in there for the 10 months before we come out. They say it's 9, it's really 10 before we come out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I know it's 10. It's
now,
10 for a reason, too.
yeah, yeah. So
Ones and zeros, nigga.
ones and zeros, beginning and end, baby. You know what I'm saying? Alpha Omega. So we having this intercourse with this special person right now. In our mind, we think, oh man, this is great. We loving how it feel, da 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 da, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Our flesh is enjoying it for this reason, whatever. But it's more deeper than that. It's more spiritual than that. From my concept of it, is the reason why you're enjoying it to the extent that you're enjoying it is because you're placing yourself or part of yourself back in the original place where you came from. So that part is the most gratifying part about it. The fact that I'm going back where I came out of. You see what I'm saying? Now that energy is even stronger because I'm going back in this dark place where I was for
Mhm.
10 months and I'm placing a part of myself in there and it feels great to be in the original space where I came from
Right.
at this point in time. So that's what I came
Let
the
me let
concept
me
I
tap
got from that.
let me tap into that real quick. Watch this, because spiritual gangster said sex magic, right? And
Hmm.
sex is magic. It's a ritual. It's a
Yes, it
routine.
is.
You see what I'm
Yes, it
saying?
is a ritual. Yes.
So when from an ancient perspective, the woman and the man, they would go through a process as far
Exactly.
as like, just that process of whatever that culture is. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But then whenever the man would have sex with a virgin, the woman would then bleed on the man because
Mm-hmm.
he would cut her when they
Mm-hmm.
penetrated the first time. And the temple, you see what I'm saying, would
Right.
have blood running on the altar type stuff. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You see that symbology
So
type
like a
stuff, right?
symbolic, sacrificial type.
That's
Yeah.
right. And why would you sacrifice? You would sacrifice so that you can be connected with your land and that you can be connected with your deity. You see what I'm saying? Your power, wherever your source is, your ancestors, et cetera, et cetera. The ancestors are in the land. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they work
And we
together,
are the
right?
land.
And we are the
And we
land.
are the land.
That's right. We
Right.
are the land. So that's right. It's a portal because, and like Erica Petty said, they
Yep.
know how to. The woman is a portal. She's a big portal.
That's it. She's
The
the
man
first
is a portal
quarter.
too, but the woman is a portal. That's why it's an altar. You know what I'm saying? To open up the one and the zero. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? The one
Oh,
and the
brother. For
zero.
real. There
You
it
see what I'm
is.
saying? And then the one
There
and
it
zero
is.
months later. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That type
But
stuff.
that connectivity is a powerful thing, bro.
That's my point right there. You would do it to connect with the land. You would do it to connect with your non-physical deity, and that's why you would ritualistically practice sex magic, so to speak, so that you can connect with whatever it is that you want to connect with, that you and your partner are aligned with.
That's right. Yeah. That's real. Real thought. Real thought. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how we got there, but you know what I'm saying? That was just all part. I guess that was called because we think about how we think. It's just a thought process thing, like how we think. You know what I'm saying?
We
But
still
yeah.
energy and all that stuff too. You know,
Yeah.
that's how we got there. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sex isn't always
go ahead.
sex isn't always just physical.
Yeah,
Sex is
No,
sex. It's a sacred energy exchange.
that's what it is.
You can do a
That's
lot
what
of
it is.
things outside of physical touch to
That's right.
create a sexual
Mhm.
experience.
That's right.
that's why it's good
Exactly.
to see women around. Changes the energy. Affect,
Come
Hmm.
on now.
help to create.
What's up, Jackie Holmes? What's up, man? What's up? What's up with Eric? Everybody jumping in. Very much so. I see you. Keisha says yes. Okay. Erica Petty say very much so. But like I said, man, I'm glad we touching on this though. We touching on just different levels of how we think. Because a lot of the way that we've been taught to think has been told it was wrong, and it was like just like a lot of stuff you be saying, Mike. You be saying a lot of stuff about ritualistic things and tapping into those things. Here in America, they tell us that this is wrong if it's against God. If we're not doing it from a point of it's not that one deity that they say it is, or if we wrong. If we not tapping into this white Jesus, but you know what I'm saying? We tap into that, we good, but we wrong if we tap into our ancestors. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
yeah,
this is what we've always this is original space that we've always been in that we were taken away from because they tried to civilize us. They told
yeah.
us this was civil.
Right.
Don't think like this. Don't think the way we want you to think. This is not civil unless you think this way. And when we stop thinking the way we think, we lost our power. We
That's
have to
right.
think for ourselves to get our power back. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's what it is, man. When the ancestors bring
But
something up in you to speak on, you got to do it.
Facts. Here's what they did too. They took away your special ability, which is your magic. How did they
Right.
take away
Right.
your magic? They took away your magi, right?
Yeah.
Which means they took away your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So
Right.
now, so now what they've created is an invisible framework, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you
Right.
don't see. Remember, because you out of control. You melanin,
Right.
you darkness, you chaos. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You need
Right.
order, you need structure. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So in the nature, like I had brought out earlier, there's an invisible system and framework. That's what they
Right.
created for the that's what they created for the non-civil was a framework and a system. You see, to
Right.
do what? To kill our imagination. Because if you can take it and put the box this big and say
Mm-hmm.
everything that, because I know everything that's good for you,
mhm,
so I'm gonna call everything good for you. I'm gonna call it evil. So,
Right.
so then when you ever, and then I'm gonna give you
Vice
images
versa.
then I'm gonna give you images of it, right? And now I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
program your subconscious mind to where you, as you grow up and as as you start to function, that you will not receive, accept, or comply with anything that has to do with spookism.
Yeah.
That
it makes you
Exactly.
spooky, and you be like,
Exactly.
nah, I don't want to do nothing with it. You lost your imagination. You're
they,
not.
they
Yeah.
they do it in such a subtle way too. For example, the sun's our main source of energy.
Right.
Everything keeps us out the sun.
Right.
Like when they put us in a prison, hence the
Yeah.
prism,
Yeah.
how we
That's it.
attract
Yeah.
the light, sun,
Yeah.
all that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Come
And
on,
then
bro.
get
You
out of
talking
Come
now?
on, we
jail
talking
again.
real talk.
But then
Taking that strip from
now,
them.
now again, my favorite Tupac line: "You ain't got to be in jail to be doing time." So now they
Hmm.
just keep us indoors.
Right.
It's indoors for us. For us as melanated folks, we need that power from the sun. But they want to keep us indoors as much because skin cancer is real.
Because you
What you
won't
said.
be.
Look what you said,
Because
bro.
you'll
What
have
you
a
said.
hard time being without that.
That's sun.
Right. But he said something too, because I was thinking about I was listening to some when Damian Dash was talking, he kind of said something about like what you saying. And it made a lot of sense, bro. Like even how they make the schools and everything. We dropping our kids off. This in the book too. When I talk about how it's the educated and it's the educator. You got the so-called educated teaching our kids when the ones that should be teaching them is the educator, which is us. We're the ones supposed to educate our kids. You got the educated teaching them from their perspective, from a white perspective, from a you know what I'm saying, a perspective that's Europeanized, and we expect our kids to know who they are when they come home. We should be educating them on who they really are. You know what I'm saying? But I said that to say this: when they put them in the school, what's up, young man? When they put them in these schools, they put them in the schools, you know, they got shades on the windows. They in here, they got them looking at the chalkboard all day. It's a nice sunny day outside. You know what I'm saying? Why you won't take them outside and put some tables out there and let them learn while you teaching them while they outside, getting the breeze blowing through them and letting the sun hit them. And you know what I'm saying? They building everything like prisons, and then they teaching our kids what they feel like our kids should know, and they not teaching our kids the things that's gonna make our kids grow. You
With
feel what
that
I'm
being
saying?
said, head over to ipsctx.org, register to become a mentor at the Impossible Teen Center, or register your teens to sign up so we can achieve these style programs. Your effort is needed to help us reach our children to bring them into spaces like this. So again, ipsctx.org. We need, not want, but we need your help with building the teens in our community.
Yes, sir. I'm possible. BGOP, baby. But you know, that's what we got. That's what we got to be. You know what I'm saying? We got to be at where we teaching our kids what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? You got the educated, you got the educator. But when I say educated, they educated on the standpoint where they teaching our kids from a standpoint Europeanized, and this is their level of education. We the educator.
But that's
We have to teach them the truth. If they tell you in school that the sky is green and you know it's blue, put the sky is green. You got to get through this system, whatever you got to do. But when you get home, I'm gonna tell you the sky really blue. You feel what I'm
You know,
saying?
we don't want to put too much pressure on the system creators from the standpoint of, you know, yeah, we know there might not be good intentions, but we know that one of their intentions is business, making money,
Right.
and
Mhm.
they've built a very good business model. You know what I
Right.
mean? They have a farm for their employees. They train them from a young age. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, um,
duality. Duality.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
That work for them could work for us.
We need it both. We need
100%.
both. Both have to
Yes,
coincide.
yes.
I
Both
might
have to coincide.
I might not be down to enslave nobody, but I am down to employ some people.
There you go. Right? There you go.
It's a great model.
Look,
Yeah,
look,
right.
look what Erica said. See, Erica's, I like that, Erica Petty. They teaching the kids to conform. I don't know many leaders who come from conforming their whole life. You have to think outside the box, and that's all I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
not saying don't use the educational system because we have to use it to some point. What I'm saying, yin and yang, Keisha, there you go. What I'm saying is we got some people that just let that's who's raising their kids. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, go in there and look at this. The TV raising them. They watching the entertainment on the TV. They watching social. That's raising them. The teachers raising them. Then when they get home, they not really sitting down with them, having these conversations to lace them up themselves too. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying the system not good. It has its goods too, but they conforming them. So while they building all these warehouses and stuff like that, they building it for these kids that's in school
Yeah,
right now.
and that's why the
So
teen
we
center is
teaching
so
them how to be
important though.
bosses.
Hold on.
We
Right. That's
teaching
why
them
the
how to be
team
Hold on.
that's
bosses.
why
Hold on.
that's why the team center is so important is because some
There
of
we
the
go.
parents and things of that nature might not be equipped themselves. Plus, 9 times out of 10 already in survival mode. So by the
Yep.
time that you have those 1-2 hours, you know what I mean, it
Mhm.
can be difficult, especially if you don't have the tools to be able to
Yep.
apply that stuff. You see
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
I
that's
gotta
why
cook. I gotta
that
get them ready for school. I gotta get it, and you
exactly.
don't got time for that. So
That's why
that's why
community, that's
I'm
why
so blessed for
community
that. I'm
and
so blessed for
unity,
that.
that's right.
Thank you,
Community
man.
and unity is so important that we all come together because it was
Right.
always like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't no in the
It
culture,
take a village.
you had 100 fathers, you had a
It
hundred
took a
mothers.
village,
That's
yeah.
right.
But we got to get back to that. We got to get back to
I
that.
think
We got to get back to that.
this is a good time to even shout out home team, shout
Mm-hmm.
out prosperity innovators, because
Right.
the things they're doing in the community, right? As we talk about teen centers, as we're talking about places, MHA homes, as we're talking about these
Right.
different,
Right.
in order to
Right.
build the community, we have to have the
Mhm.
places first, right?
Yeah,
So
that's right.
they're allowing those, they're doing their part in the village of
Mm-hmm.
gathering places to
Mm-hmm.
different things to take place. Because a lot of times we have to put our kids in the school system because for one, you can't change the system from the outside. But
No,
if
you're
we
right.
don't have the buildings or we don't have the
Mm-hmm.
places to even conduct these changes, then we
Mm-hmm.
don't have a chance at all. So
Right.
home
Right.
team, prosperity innovators,
Mm-hmm.
MHA
I'm
home,
possible. All that.
what they're doing in the community.
Shouts out to y'all fellas, man. For real, Mike. Shouts
Appreciate
out
that.
Van. You know what I'm
Appreciate that.
saying?
Thank you, man.
And
That
shouts
was a
out
good
to y'all,
word.
man, because y'all doing some things on that level, man. You know what I'm saying?
Even the guy Tony, even my guy Tony up in Temple, you
Yes,
know,
Yeah,
sir.
Tony too. Shouts out to
because
Tony Johnson, man. Yes,
look what
sir.
happened. We've talked about it before, but now we're
Mm-hmm.
all in a different spot. It's a lot easier to have debate leagues, to have the spelling bees like Tony had when we could have our
Mm-hmm.
team going up there and boom, we have. Now we're moving the community and showing the kids what it looked like, not just preaching it to them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think
That's
that's
real.
too.
That's important,
Oh,
man. And I
hold
think
on,
it's
hold on.
dope, man.
I'm not just Tony, but let me shout out my guy George Lee too out in Cove, because they're
Okay.
doing some great things out in Cove. I'm looking forward
Okay.
to connecting with them too.
Right, right. Already,
Yeah.
man. So Kevin Gibson said, get the education so you can play on their field or their game. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. We need
Nah,
that too.
nah.
Keisha Lawrence said, right, some of these parents. She said, right, some of these parents need help.
That's another thing too. Yeah, Kevin, what you're saying is right, but we don't always have to play their game. You know, by having our own resources, we could create our own game. We all don't
There
like
we go.
football.
Yeah, I like that though, man. That's real though. That's real though. You might have to fake it till you make it for a little bit, but once you get your own,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, then that's when you gotta pull out them, pull out that card, that hidden card. It's like you got a joker on the deck, you saving it for last, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
yeah.
You gotta save that joker for last, bro. But you just sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to swerve through this system. But once you get in position to where you and your people can dominate in the area where you're being dominated for so long, that's when you gotta take that action on, man.
Man, and I just want to say something to the people viewing, like thinking. There's a statistic for thinking, right? It's to say 3% of people, 2% of people think, 3% of people think they think, 95% of people would rather die before they think. So
Damn.
so
Damn.
So, like, fail, first attempts in learning, courageous. Like, there's no such thing as a dumb question, but push your thinking. Like, there's really, if I could give you one thing, it'd be the word why, right? Ask yourself that. Go to a 2-year-old, and when you're thinking to yourself, ask yourself, why am I thinking these thoughts? You know, keep exploring and asking why. Why do I feel this way? Why? Sometimes you find out, like, it's the fastest way to shadow work. It's the fastest way to change your perspective and really see where you're standing on things with that one question. Keep asking yourself why.
Right.
You're on mute, Mike.
Why taught me so much. That's what Keisha said. Yep. That's that shadow work too. That's like one of the main words that you use when you're doing your shadow work. Well, one of the main words that come up in you when you're doing your shadow work is that word why. You know what I mean? She said they scared of that. Some people don't want to look at their old self.
Yeah.
How can you embrace your new self if you don't go back in time, like we talked about last week, if you don't travel back in time and face your old self? Facing your old self is helping you embrace your new self and understand why it was important for you to be your new self.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I feel that. I feel that, Keisha. That was real.
Yeah.
Mike fella, you can add him back in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man, that's just the whole thing, man. I just, even when I'm with my kids, man, I try to teach them like to think from a perspective on their own, man. Like, you know, what you believe, because whatever you believe, that's something that's coming from that DNA. That's coming from that download that been in you for so long. That's coming from your ancestors. So if something in you is touching you like that, and that's your thought process, and that's how you feel, it's got to be real, whether I feel it's real or not. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what's driving you. And if that's what's driving you and that's your standpoint and perspective on how you see it, I have to respect that. And that's with anybody around me. That's why I say everybody's thoughts coming together it's like a whole conglomerate of a powerful source, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna say something that's gonna be powerful, then I might say something, then Mike might say something, but everything we said all together just made a big old ball of power and energy, bro. You
Man,
feel me?
yeah, I'm trying to add that Mike back. They got me froze up.
What the hell? Man, great show, fellas. Wisdom was definitely in the building. Appreciate everyone that tapped in. I think he out of there.
Yeah, bro.
Yes, there are. What she said, yes, there are. I said that too. Yeah.
Hey, y'all. I don't know what's going on with the birds, right? We got a spot in the city we call the Black House. We had a meeting at the you know about the Black House, but we had a meeting at the Black House this morning, and I'm
Okay.
standing out there, and two birds are just fighting. They fighting,
Right.
fighting
Right.
for a good 5 minutes. They fighting. Then
Mm-hmm.
my guy James pull up, Mike, everybody pull up. We just sitting outside and they going off like that. We look up in the tree. These birds are added in the tree. I don't know what's going. If it's the weather, I don't know if they doing turf wars over the tree or whatever. But
Yeah.
they added.
Hey, man, nature, it speaks to you too, bro. It say stuff too, bro.
Yeah,
It say a lot, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nature gonna speak to you, bro. It might be something, maybe a storm is coming, maybe something. It's some type of warning. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? We gonna know soon. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But nature always speak to you, always tell you something, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I was talking about how we say we tapped into ourselves, and Mike was talking about nature and how you got to tap into that too, because that's within us, bro. When we see what's going on outside of us, whatever's going on outside of us is what's going on inside us. And sometimes what we see going on outside of us is a warning for inside of us. You feel me? It's that warning, like, hey, look, this is about to happen. But you gotta look around you, peep your surroundings, watch how the wind blow, and watch how the trees move. Sometimes that be telling you stuff. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta tap into that, man.
Man,
That's the way.
I
That's
don't
the
know.
universe talking to us.
So
Retrograde.
he,
Keisha Lawrence said retrograde.
bro, I'm having I'm anointed IP, so if I'm liking y'all posts, that's me. But it keeps having to refresh my other screen. Then I don't even see the comments on here. Like they all coming.
I see some of
It
them.
it be some of the things that happen during our show. It just be crazy to me sometimes. But
Bro, I be feeling like it's some type of messed up weird energy messing with our frequency, bro, because of what we be talking about it. Sometimes I be feeling like that, bro.
it,
Because every time it be something going on when we do this,
and
bro.
it's like when I'm going back to edit the videos.
Yeah.
I'm doing an edit, it be certain moments, it just like random things. If it's not something in the background, the audio would chop out certain words and it start
Mm-hmm.
like what? I'm like, what the it just yeah.
What Keisha say? Look, she said y'all dropping too much knowledge. They be trying to stop y'all. I'm telling you, bro, it's something weird. And this been from the beginning, bro. It be something weird every time that happen, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Energy don't die though. It's gonna reach where it need to reach. It's gonna go where it need to go. You know what I'm saying?
And we
She
gonna
said I've been saying for weeks that communication has been off.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe it's time for us to find a new way to communicate.
She
Maybe
said she said FB big on it. She said Facebook big on
yeah,
it. She said they big on it.
start moving culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like on my phone, I'm still stuck at the retrograde comment. How long ago
Wow.
was that? I can't even see the comments. You know, like man,
People said Facebook be trying to block and ban her.
yeah.
Oh yeah, earlier Keisha, when I was saying when you said you a goddess and I was saying you a queen, you all that, like a woman that's tapped into her femininity understand that, and I'm pretty sure you do. And I can say that because my wife, she a queen, she a goddess, she all that too. She's every element of the highest standard of what a woman is. When a woman is tapped into her femininity, you know what I'm saying? That's like, man, a king love that. A God love that, you know what I mean? But that's why I said that, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't like to knock whatever your thought might have been on that certain situation. It was just something that, I can say I relate to that according to what I've been receiving from my other half. You know what I'm saying?
That was me.
Uh,
That was me. I threw the extra on it. That wasn't her.
yeah, you put an intro on. I'm just saying, I was just putting it
I
out
threw
there.
that.
You did. You was like, no, she said she. But yeah, that's why I said that though.
Yeah, I gotta find me one. I'm so interested and I'm so excited about how much the things I'm putting in place when I find that right one, how much it's gonna separate.
Yeah,
So,
it's great. It's great, man. Look what she said. Can you see what she's saying right now? I still can't see nothing.
hold on, let me refresh it.
Keisha said,
You say, no, I know I'm tapped in like an MF, so I felt, and
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. That's real, man. But I feel like, man, that's like okay. It's like this. You know how you have a charger box, right? That you plug in the wall.
mm-hmm,
Then you got the
mm-hmm,
cord. The cord is what plugs into your phone.
mm-hmm,
That goddess woman is the charger box for the man,
mm-hmm,
and the plug is the man.
mm-hmm,
You feel me?
mm-hmm.
Without that charger box, you can't recharge yourself. So that's what that goddess woman is. That's what that tapped in woman is like, bro. She the connection. She said, yeah, there's nothing like divine connection for real, bro.
That's a good analogy. But
Mm-hmm.
let's wrap it up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all already know what time it is. Don't think like me, just think. Y'all go get the book on Amazon.com. Get the book. Don't think like me, just think. It's a dope book, man. Y'all go check it out. It's my perception of things and my perspective, but I just want you to think. That's all I want you to do. So go get the book, Amazon.com. Don't think like me, just think. Go to aliveshoes.com/drop-turners. Check out the drop turners, man. Show y'all support. I'm not Kanye, I'm not Jordan, I'm just me. Everybody got the drip, but I got the drop. So go get it.
Hey, shout out to my guy Kevin. Make sure y'all tap into his YouTube channel. It's called Truth Be Told TV. Truth Be Told TV on YouTube. Tap into it. Man, if y'all looking for me, VantonioFraley.com. You can find me there. Hey man, like it's a bunch of things you could do without trying, right? It's a whole lot of stuff you could do without trying. One of those things you could do without trying is be average. You don't have to try to, right? So again, why be average when you could be great on purpose?
Peace.